Hey, the comic friends, I'm Travis, and it's New Comic Book Day, yay! Or at least New Comic Book Day for me. It's been a while. I skipped a week because I was traveling to go see the Idols. Awesome show. Not much longer after the Idols, I got extremely ill. I lost about a week and a half due to that. Then prior week's comics came this week. They came super late. So I've been behind on reading. I mean, I was so sick, like reading comics wasn't even possible. But getting better. And I'm catching up on comics. Hopefully, I will get last week's comics read like today, so I can talk about them tomorrow. Anyway, New Comic Book Day. That's why we're here, right? My handy dandy invoice says that I got 10 books this week. That's a good amount of books. Get more than that, it becomes a challenge, right? First up, we'll talk the big books. So, White Boat, issue number 1. This is from good old Distillery Comics, not old, brand new, right? If you've heard me talk about, I love this cover. Just the icons on it is freaking awesome. You've heard me talk about Distillery Comics. I am suspect of some of their business model, the online aspect of it. The variant covers you can buy online and you can resell them on their market. Awesome that creators get money on a secondhand sale because, of course, otherwise, they don't get anything. They get the original production and then nothing after that. But I don't know. It has a very NFT feel to it, and I am not down for any of that shenanigans that creates lots of wasted energy and all the other good stuff that's on. Anyway, so this is Scott Snyder, Francesco Francavilla. I'm excited. I'm excited for the Francavilla art. I like the sea. I don't like the ocean. I like krakens and all that kind of mystery that goes along with it. I have no idea what the book is actually about. I just know that I'm going to get some awesome art. I haven't been listening to the sales pitch. The sales pitch tends to drive me crazy from the creator. But yeah, looking forward to checking it out. What do you guys think of these oversized books? These books that are bigger than a regular size comic. Ooh, bigger art. Sometimes that's cool. You can put more on the page. I mean, this page probably looks better because it's larger, so I can see all of it a lot better. But I don't know. I haven't decided. They don't fit in my comic box, right? So the other big book I got this week, The Forge. This is issue number what? Where are we at now? Issue 8. 008. Not terribly excited about that cover, but this is a great book. I enjoy this book. This is one of those books that I wonder, the giant size of it, you would think that, oh, cool, I'm going to get some big space, open space, whatever. And of course, I'm talking about that, and this one doesn't have much in the way of space. But I don't know. The space stuff doesn't feel big, and I would hope that it would feel big in this. Not that I'm knocking the art. Art is still great. I don't know that this larger page, and so therefore larger price point, is that more? Do I feel like that's more than if that was a normal comic book size? Anyway, super fun book. I'm definitely enjoying it. First arc, I was like, yeah, okay, well, but now I'm really starting to dig it. There's some wild characters in this thing that I like, but they're also really unnerving. So fun to read, fun to explore. Yeah. The Forge, number 8. Let's get into normal people-sized comics. Should have had this stuff unwrapped before I started talking, maybe. Okay. Oh, I love that cover. Here we go. Wonder Woman issue number 9. End of last issue was pretty cool. Explosion. Waiting to see what happens out of that. Been really digging Wonder Woman. It's touching some subjects. I'm curious to see how we're going to navigate those subjects. But that's one of the fun things about reading it. The art has been amazing. It's Samprel. Is that how you say it? Ugh. Like I said, my wish is to be able to pronounce people's names. But yeah, super book. Super fun. Super excited. Looking to see where that goes. Oh, the beginning of the end. Here it is, issue 114 of Nightwing, Fallen Grayson, part 1 of 5 issues. And this team's run is done on the book of Tom Taylor and Redondo. Amazing art. It's been a super fun book. Especially when these two are teamed up together. It's been quite the joy to read, especially those first couple arcs were really fun. It's kind of drifted into I don't know what with a few issues here recently, but I am excited to see how this ends. Hopefully it doesn't end in a bummer. I get the whole idea, part of the drama of superheroes is, they get knocked down and then they pick themselves back up again. Do we have to though? It's been a joy. And so I assume it's going to be a good book. I just don't know if it's going to have the joy that the book has had up until recently. The Immortal 4, issue number 11, or 772 if you're going by the legacy number. So Thor is having to deal with the fact that he has become a story character within a comic book. That has been cool. He's stuck. He can only think and talk in cliches. So was the end of the last issue. I like all that stuff. It's fun. So I'm just curious to see, how does he get himself out of this? Loki's on the cover there. Does Loki help him out or what exactly? So a book I am really curious about. It is super thick. It is super heavy. This is lore. This is the remastered lore. This is another book by T.P. Louise and Ashley Wood. This is number 1. I don't know what it is. It's square bound, so that's kind of a bummer as far as I'm concerned. I'm not a big pro square bound. So if you're going to give me extra pages and you give it to me in that giant size, I'm all for that giant size. But below as it is above, it says on the back of it. Looks like a really old map of some sort. I have no idea. I just really dig the art. So this looks like it has prose in it. It's got some pretty upstanding stellar art looking type stuff in it. But when I was just flipping through, so this is reprinted. I'm okay with that. I somehow missed the boat on the original stuff. I don't know when it came out. But yes, here we go. Got some story in here also that's just prose. So there's a few pages of prose, it looks like, and then it goes back to some more comics. I do not know how many issues this is. This was $9.99, so the cost of a trade. But looks pretty cool as a whole, I would say. So I'm excited by that. It's got this kind of J. John Mulliff feel to it in places, like Blood, A Tale, right? Or Moonshadow. Some of it has that kind of painted feel to it. I guess you'd say some of it might be Sikowitz looking, maybe. Less so, in my opinion. But yeah. Ashley Wood, I like his style. So looking forward to checking that out. That will be a longer read. Fight with a bag. Okay, and then we have Hellblazer, Dead in America, issue number, what is this? 5. So my understanding is, quite possibly, this is actually all written by Aaron Campbell, the artist. I saw him on Blue Sky talking about the fact his first completely solo book. I mean, Cy Spurrier's name is still on the cover. So I'll be curious to see what it ends up being like. I've been enjoying it. I like the tale. I like each issue kind of has its own tale, but it has this, thing. He's doing some stuff for Dream, but obviously it's also, has to do with him. The characters in it are great. So very much looking forward to it. Grimm. Ooh, camera. Okay, I gotta get the autofocus off. Ooh, that's terrible. Okay, that's a setting to look for. Didn't realize I had it going. So Grimm, issue number 17. It's been a while. Ended kind of in a, okay, what the hell do we do now scenario. So I look forward to seeing maybe what that what that's going to be. Looks like all the same creators on the book. Stephanie Phillips, followed her over from enjoying her Harlequin run that she was doing. I've really been enjoying this quite a bit. It's an interesting story. I like Flavino's art. I'm pretty sure that is the ongoing artist. I'm going to waste some more of your time by opening up another comic. Yep, looks like them. So, taking a ride in our limo in hell, I'm assuming. Looks like we're going to get some story on our rocker here, which is cool. It's kind of cool getting some backstory on all these people are dead. 1985, peak hair band, right? Woo! 85. I've been, what? A junior in high school? Woohoo! Good times, good times. Something's Killing the Children. Issue number 37. I for one, am still enjoying Something's Killing the Children. Don't particularly care how long it meanders around to tell whatever story it wants to tell. I like the world. I like the character. That chainsaw's a little short. Perspective on it. Being a cover critic. Yeah. How are we going to save the children? Are we going to sacrifice the children to do whatever? We'll find out. I'll find out. And lastly, this time, it is Local Man issue number 10. I don't know what it is with the people who send me my comics. They always want to put it on the 90s cover. And quite frankly, I'm glad I missed most of the 90s. I get that part of the romance of this book is to kind of celebrate this, full-on balls to the walls, that part of the 90s. But I don't know. What I've seen of the 90s was terrible stories and absurdly drawn characters. I know tons and tons of people who, that's the comics that they broke into. And wherever you come in at comics, then that ends up being really your style. I romance of George Perez and Jim Aparo and those people from the 80s and whatnot. That's, largely that kind of thing. And if this was where you cut your teeth in comics on Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld, I get it. For that purpose. My cup of tea, no. This is fun, though. The 90s part of the story in this is fun. They tell some piece of the story. It tends to be, I don't know, they embrace the kind of over-the-top ridiculousness that it is, it feels like most of the time. So yeah, really digging this story, though. Local Man is an excellent comic. Tim Seeley, if he gets room to kind of do his own thing, he writes some just really good stuff. I'm glad that everybody's loving this, so it seems to still be selling well. I actually have heard that the sales of this book have gone up. At issue 10, it's going up. That's amazing. That means that first trade sold well enough, I would guess, that people are now picking up the singles. That's super, super cool for any comic, especially an indie comic. But Tim Seeley has written a lot of really good stuff that a lot of people have missed. Sundowners is an excellent, excellent story. Excellent, excellent art in it. Should have been huge, struggled to get what it got out, and the final stuff had to be put out in a trade. Not much of a trade reader, trade buyer. I did buy that to get the rest of the story, but just a shame. Just a shame that a lot of his stuff, he's got some old Vertigo stuff that was just wild, and you could tell it was going to go some wild places, and it didn't get a chance to. Of course, one of his big things is Revival. I really enjoyed Revival. Early on Revival, it was super fresh, and it just felt like a lot of fun. Towards the end, it felt like, once you realize, I guess for me, once I realized an ending was coming, it was kind of like, okay, we need to get to that end. It seemed to take a while. Exciting news for them. It sounds like that got picked up in a way that it looks like it might realistically actually make it as a show, but you know how that kind of stuff goes. It can cancel last second. But anyway, excellent book. If you're into superhero stuff at all and some good laughs and some, I definitely recommend the book. It's got a little bit of all that kind of stuff in it. Anyway, that's it for my books this week. These were books from what? May 22nd, if I didn't say it at the beginning. Maybe I did. I don't remember. Bit fog brain still. Anyway, that's it. Hopefully I'm going to jump off of here, get some tea, and start reading. Thankfully, I've got 6 books. And hopefully I will talk about those books tomorrow and get back into the routine. for those few of you who watch my videos. Anyway, have a great one, and I hope to catch some of your videos.